Now let's see about associative memory in computer organization architecture. Associative memory can also be called as content addressable memory. In short, we can call it as CAM. CAM stands for content addressable memory. Generally, we know that CPU executes a program based upon address. We know that program means a collection of instructions. So CPU executes the instructions based upon the addresses. Whereas in associative memory, what will happen is CPU executes the instruction based upon the content. So instead of address, CPU executes the instructions based upon the content. So that's why we can call this memory as content addressable memory. So why we are using associative memory is, if we uses associative memory, then the time required to find an item as well as executing that item will be substantially reduced than if we uses if CPU executes the instructions based upon the addresses. So the amount of time will be reduced if the instructions are executed based upon the content rather than the address. Now let's see the block diagram of associative memory. This is nothing but associative memory. Here, in order to implement the associative memory, we are using an array, a two-dimensional array and logic. So in order to implement this logic, we are maintaining m words. So here associative memory contains totally m words, where each word contains n bits. So associative memory totally contains m words. And what is the size of each word? The size of each word is 12 bits. And this is nothing but an input which is applied to the associative memory. And we can perform read operation and write operation on the associative memory. And here we have two registers, argument register and the content register. Argument register contains the content. Here we are executing the instructions based upon the content. Every instruction contains some content or word. If we want to search for some employee information may contain employee name, employee number, employee salary, like that. So we can search the information based upon the employee number, because employee number is the unique. So that employee number will be stored in the argument register. Here the associative memory contains the entire employee details. Okay, so this employee number will be searched with the corresponding employee numbers which are present in the associative memory. If there is a match found, then the corresponding instruction will be retrieved and executed. So now that information, that content, that word, that employee number information will be stored in argument register. Here we are representing argument register with the help of a letter called A. Next, here we have key register. Here key register is mainly useful for comparison purpose. We know that the computer doesn't understand alphabets or digits or symbols. The computer can understand only zeros and ones. So here our information will be stored in the form of zeros and ones. So key register contains ones and zeros. Here the point is, we can compare the content of the argument register with the content of the associative memory only when the key register contains ones. Suppose if the key register bits are zeros, then the comparison will not be done. Okay, so here the key register bits may be either zeros or ones. So the bits which have ones, so only those bits of the argument register as well as associative memory will be compared. Next, if there is a match found, here the capacity of the argument register and the key register is n bits. So if the word contains here if the word contains 10 bits, then the argument register also contains 10 bits as well as key register also contains 10 bits. And now let's see this one, match register. Match register, why we are using match register? Suppose if a word argument register matches with the corresponding word in the associative memory, then the corresponding match register bit is set to 1. Suppose if there are 5 words present in the associative memory, so out of 5 words, 3 words matches with argument register. Then for each word we have to maintain either 1 or 0. If it matches, then we have to keep the bit 1, whereas if it doesn't matches, we have to keep the bit 0. So here the size of the match register depends upon the number of words that we use in associative memory. So for each word, we will have to maintain either 1 or 0. Okay, if it matches, then the match register bit is 1. If it doesn't matches, then the match register bit is 0. And after that, if there is any match found, then the corresponding word information will be produced as the output. So CPU executes that word. Okay. Now let's take an example here. So here we have an argument register. Let us assume that we want to search for employee number. That employee number information is represented in terms of ones and zeros in the computer. So this is nothing but employee number 101 and 4100. So this is nothing but employee number information. So that information is placed in argument register. Okay. Next, here we have key register. K stands for key register. Here we have triple ones. Here we have zeros. Here we can compare the content of argument register with the corresponding word in the associative memory only when the key register contains ones. Here the first 3 positions are triple one here. So only the first 3 bits of the argument register are compared with the first 3 bits of the word here. So 101, 100. Only these 3 bits will be compared here. We can't compare these bits here. Why? Because for the corresponding key register, the bits are zeros. If the key register contains zeros, then the comparison will not be done here. Okay. So here we have the first 3 positions are 3 ones here. So the first 3 bits of the argument register are compared with the first 3 bits of the word. So 101, 100, no match. So no match is found. So it doesn't. So CPU doesn't execute that instruction. Next, if you take the second word, so the first 3 bits of the argument register are 101, whereas here the first 3 bits of the word are 101. So 10101, 101, 101. So both are same. So match is found. So that means a part of the word is found. A part of the information is found here. So now CPU executes this word. Okay. So this is the advantage of the associative memory. Now let's see about this associative memory. How we can represent associative memory of m words, where each word contains what? N cells per word. Okay. Here, in order to represent each cell, we are using C here. C here, where C stands for a cell of the associative memory. Here C11. Here C contains 2 subscripts here. Here, in order to represent the cells, we are using a 2-dimensional array. We know that in a 2-dimensional array, we can have 2 subscripts. The first subscript specifies row size. The second subscript specifies column size. Whereas here, the first subscript is nothing but word number. The second subscript is nothing but bit position of the word. C11. So this 1 specifies the word number is 1. The second subscript 1 specifies that the bit position is 1 here. C1J. The first subscript 1 specifies the word number is 1. The second subscript J specifies the column number is J. So here the row is nothing but words and the columns are nothing but bit position in the word. So this is nothing but argument register A1. Argument register, this is nothing but what? AJ position. This is nothing but AN position. Next, key register K1, KJ, KN. Okay. So first word, second word, third word, like that. So here we have word 1, word I. Likewise we can use word N. Likewise we can use N number of words here. And each bit positions are 1, J and N. So here A1 will be compared with C11 and CI1 when K1 is equal to 0. Likewise AJ will be compared with the contents of the associative memory. Here the contents of the associative memory is nothing but these cells C1J, Cij, like that. AJ will be compared with C1J and Cij when Kj is equal to 1. Suppose if there is a match found, then the corresponding bit in the match register will be set to 1 here. Okay. So in this way we can represent associative memory of m words where each word contains n cells. Now let's see how we can store one cell of associative memory. Here, in order to store each cell of an associative memory, we are using a flip-flop. We know the advantage of a flip-flop. A flip-flop is mainly useful in order to store one bit of an information. Here we are using SR flip-flop, where S stands for set and R stands for reset. Here S accepts an AND gate. It accepts input from an input. So this bit will be stored in the corresponding storage cell. Here Fij stands for a storage cell. So flip-flop storage cell. So the bit which we transfer during the write operation will be stored in Fij here. So this AND gate, this S means set input means it accepts AND gate accepts an input from input as well as write. So during the write operation, the bit which we transferred will be stored in the storage cell Fij. So this is nothing but R. R stands for reset. Here it is also accepting AND gate. AND gate accepts an input from R means reset here. So if we transfer 0 here, then the complement of 0 will be stored here. If we transfer 1 here, then the complement of the 1 will be transferred here. Okay, that's why here we uses NOT gate here, so that bit will be complemented here. And during the write operation, what will happen? The bit which we transferred will be stored in the storage cell, flip-flop storage cell Fij. And here we have read here. So during the read operation, the information which is available in the storage cell such as Fij will be readed here during the read operation. So totally we can perform write operation and read operation. A bit will be transferred with the help of this input bit, and this is nothing but output here. And here we have a match logic. Here what the match logic will do is, we know that the match logic compares the contents of the argument register with the contents of the associative memory when the key register contains 1 here. So here this is match logic. So match logic, here we are representing one cell here. So that cell is Aj here. So match logic compares Aj with Fij. Here what is Fij? Fij is nothing but a cell which is present in the associative memory. Okay, that cells C1, C2, C3 that will be stored with the help of Fij here. So match logic compares Aj with Fij when Kj is equal to 1. If they are matched, then 1 will be stored in Mi. If they are not matched, then 0 will be stored in Mi. Now let's see the match logic here. Here Xj is equal to Aj plus Fij plus A dash j F dash Ij. Here we know that match logic means we have to compare Aj with Fij. So when they are equal, when they are either 0 0 or when they are either 1 1, then we can say that they are equal. Here we are neglecting key bit here. So by ignoring the key bit, here we are performing the comparison here. Let us assume that Aj is 0 as well as Fij is 0. Then what will happen? 0 into 0 means 0 plus what will happen? A dash j means what will happen? A dash j means 1, whereas F dash Ij means 1. So 0 into 0 means 0. So plus 1 into 1 means 1. So 1 will be stored in Xj. So we can say that if they are equal, if Aj and Fij are equal, then by performing the multiplication operation, 1 will be stored in the Xj. Here in order to perform this operation, we are ignoring this key bit here. Next, Mi is equal to, here Mi stands for match bit here. X1, X2, X3, so on, Xn. Here we are performing AND operation, multiplication operation on X1, X2, X3. Let us assume that here X1 value is 1, X2 value is 1, X3 value is 1. So 111 means what? If we multiply 1 into 1 into 1, then we will get 1 as the result. So that means that word is matched. So now 1 will be stored in Mi. Suppose if none of the bit is matches, so out of those 3 ones, if one of the bit is 0, then 1 into 0 into 1 is nothing but what will happen? 0. So 0 will be stored in this Mi here. So 0 means that word doesn't matches. Now we have to add that key bit to the corresponding equation here. So for that the equation is Xj plus Kj dash is equal to Xj if Kj is equal to 1. So when we can perform the comparison generally, if the content of the argument, if key value is 1, so then only we can perform the comparison. So if Kj is equal to 1, then this is the equation here. Xj plus K dash j. Here what is Kj here? 1 here. So Xj plus K dash j. So Kj means 1. So K dash j will become what? 0. So that is nothing but Xj. Xj is the result. Okay. So if Kj is equal to 1, then what will happen? We can compare Aj and Fij. Then the result is available in which field? Xj. Okay. So if Kj is equal to 1, then we can make the comparison. So now the result is Xj is the result here. Suppose if Kj is equal to 0, that means if key bit is 0, then it is not possible to make any comparison here. So that's why here what we are doing is Xj plus K dash J. Here what is Kj? Kj means 0. So Xj plus K dash J will become what will happen? 0 dash means 1. So Xj plus 1. So if we add 1 to Xj, then what is the result? 1 is the result. Why? Because 0 plus 1 means 1. 1 plus 1 means 0. So 1 will be the result. So why we are taking 1 here? Why? Because here we are performing the multiplication here. So if we multiply with 1 here, then the result won't changes here. Suppose if the remaining all the bits are 1 here, then what will happen? All the bits are 1 here. So 1 into all those bits is nothing but 1. So the result won't changes here. Suppose if one of the bit is 0 now there. So 0 into 1 is nothing but 0 only. Okay. That means here one of the bit is 0. If one of the bit is 0, then we can say that that word is not matched here. So the result is 0 only. So that's why here we have taken 1 here. So if we take 1 here, then what will happen is during the multiplication the result won't changes here. If let us assume that here we have 1s here. Okay. So 111 into 1 is nothing but what will happen? 1 only. So the result won't changes here. Okay. Suppose if one of the bit is 0 here. So 1 into 0 into 1 is nothing but 0 only. So by multiplying 1 also the result won't changes here. Okay. Then after that what we have to do is we have to add this information to the match register. Actually what is the formula for Mi? Mi is equal to x1, x2, x3 so on xn. If in place of x1 we have to substitute this one x1 plus k1 dash. So Mi is equal to, if we substitute 1 here we will get x1 plus k1 dash. If we substitute 2 here, x2 plus k2 dash. Likewise the last term is xn plus kn dash. But actually what is the formula for xj here? Aj plus aj fij plus aj dash fij a dash j f dash ij. Let us substitute this x here in this equation. If we substitute here, then what will happen? In place of 1, if we substitute here xj fij plus what is the formula for x1 here? A dash j f dash ij. Plus what is the additional term here? We have k1 dash here. So here this is nothing but multiplication only. So if we derive this equation in terms of pi, so pi j is equal to 1 to n. The first term is aj fij. The second term is aj dash fij dash. Plus the third term is what is the third term? K dash I. So this dash can be substituted with j dash. So this is the equation here. Okay. So first we need to substitute 1 here. Next we will substitute 2. So that is nothing but multiplication only. So this is the first term here. Okay. Next if we substitute the second term into aj fij plus aj dash a dash j f dash ij plus k2 dash. So likewise into we can have several terms here. So if you want, we can represent this one with the help of NAND gates, AND gates, with the help of a circuit also. We can represent this diagram. So this is about associative memory in computer organization. In the next video, we will start input-output organization.